Hello, this is Clyde Henderson from Creative Bowling Solutions, and I want to thank you for taking your time out to view our video. We want to present our new book that's highly anticipated. It's called Bowling Secrets Revealed, A Guide to Achieve Bowling Scores Above 200 Consistently. Now, our development team have spent 2 years developing, studying various techniques from various bowlers on their strategies on how to score above 200. It's determined on the bowling balls that they're using, the technique they're applying on the lanes, how are they making their spares, what's their mental game plan when they're bowling. So we looked at successful bowlers, professional bowlers, amateurs, even beginners that are scoring very high to come up with a streamlined technique on how to achieve bowling scores above 200. Now the question you may have is this book beneficial to me? Well, we believe that Bowling Secrets Revealed is a book that's for beginners, more experienced bowlers, as well as professional bowlers. So there is something in this book for every type of bowler. There is information on how to hit the pocket, how to convert your spares, the best way to line up on the lanes. So I'm going to cover some of the sections that are in the book so you can get an idea of what we have that's available in the book and how beneficial it can be used for you. Now, we have 11 chapters that cover a lot of the material. The last chapter, which is chapter 12, puts everything together. So it culminates from the beginning to the end, everything that was covered, and how do you apply all those techniques. Now, as a bowler, you don't necessarily have to read it from cover to cover. As I was indicating, that there are sections that deal with specific areas. So if your weakness is converting spares, then you would go to the chapter that deals with converting spares. If you're looking for other techniques on how to reach the pocket to get your strikes, because for some reason the lane condition that you're bowling on, you're not able to get the ball to move to the pocket successfully. So we do have a section that covers how to get to the pocket. So it's important to know that you don't have to read the book cover to cover. It's 12 chapters, but you don't necessarily have to go from chapter 1 all the way to chapter 12. Now, there are certain sections that are considered prerequisites that you would need to have in order to move forward on certain areas. And I'll indicate that as I go through the sections in the book. Now, chapter 1 deals with the introduction. So it talks about what the entire book is going to cover. For example, how to bowl on any lane condition and make strikes. So whether it's the US Open pattern, whether it's the Scorpion, the Cheetah pattern, there are techniques that we have in this book that will allow you to reach the pocket rapidly without trying to figure out your strategy on how to get to the pocket. So you may see different bowlers bowling close to the gutter, or some playing more in the middle. We have 4 techniques that you can try right off the back that will allow you to reach the pocket successfully. So that's chapter 1, kind of giving you an overview of different things that you would apply through the information in the book. Chapter 2 talks a little bit more about your health. What should you be eating before you bowl for a tournament, or before you bowl just for a league game? Right? So we cover a few things that will be beneficial, like don't be dehydrated, drink plenty of liquids. So things like that will be covered in chapter 2. Chapter 3 is a chapter that a lot of people ask about. It's your equipment and your arsenal. So what we cover in chapter 3 is how many bowling balls do you need? Do you need 3, 4, 5? Some bowlers have 9 that they choose from depending on the oil condition on the lanes. So in chapter 3 we cover 2 bowling balls at a minimum that you would need to obtain the scoring potential of bowling over 200. So for beginners, this is great. It may be overwhelming when you see other bowlers with a lot of bowling balls because they're more experienced, so they're able to dial directly in on the lane condition depending on the bowling ball that they have in their arsenal. So we cover in the book on how you can match up with those same type of bowlers and still reach the pocket, still bowl successfully, just as professionals or as the more skilled bowlers that are a little bit above beginner level. Now, Chapter 4 is a great chapter that covers your timing, your balance, and your delivery. It's more of an exercise that allows you to have mental memory on how to perform on the lane. So you can do these techniques at home without being at a bowling center, and you can try these out repeatedly to get comfortable with that movement. So when it's time to get on the lanes, it's drilled into you, you're able to perform it more successfully, and it'll be more polished. So you don't have to be on the lanes all the time. A lot of the techniques in this book are covered off the lanes. So by the time you get on the lanes, you can apply these techniques and move through smoothly. Now, Chapter 5 covers the straight ball delivery technique. Now, I know there are a lot of bowlers that have some difficulty with bowling a straight ball. And basically, it's not that difficult to do. But what we do cover in Chapter 5 is how to bowl a ball, whether it's your hooking ball or your straight plastic ball, to bowl it relatively straight. And this is important if you're trying to hit the 10 pin, the 5 pin, the 7 pin, the 8 pin, the 9. A single pin hit is generally better to use a straight delivery technique. And the technique we cover in Chapter 5 is critical for all bowlers, definitely for converting single pin spares. So if I would look at any other chapter with regarding to spare shooting, Chapter 5 is one that I think everyone should look at and determine their technique on using Chapter 5. So Chapter 5 is a very important chapter to look at. Now, Chapter 6, this is the key chapter. Everybody needs to know Chapter 6. So 5 is important for bowling, rolling a ball relatively straight, but Chapter 6, everyone, bar none, needs to know. Chapter 6 covers your personal approach offset. This is going to be a unique number for you that will dictate how you bowl for your strikes and how do you bowl for your spares. Without this number, you cannot confidently attack the pocket or hit your spares. Now, Chapter 6 covers how do you calculate your personal approach offset. It's relatively easy. There's a few steps that you go through on the lane to determine what is your personal approach offset. And inside the book, you will record that number. That will be your personal approach offset number. And that will drive the remaining chapters. So Chapter 6, definitely important for you. Now, after Chapter 6, you go to Chapter 7, which is higher strike percentages using what's called the spots technique. Now, this is for individuals that, for one reason or another, is not getting to the pocket successfully. If you're trying to throw a hook, maybe you're going too high or it's going too long. You try different strategies, but you cannot get that ball to move successfully to the pocket. So in Chapter 7, we give you 4 tried and true techniques that will get that ball to the pocket regardless of the lane condition. So if you're on a cheetah pattern, or if you're on a scorpion pattern, the US Open, the highway to hell oil pattern, doesn't matter. With Chapter 7, you will get your ball to move to that pocket without any difficulty. 4 tested techniques. So you can take 4 practice throws and you will see that ball hit to the pocket and you will get a higher percentage of strikes. We guarantee that you will be able to get higher percentages on your strikes using our technique in Chapter 7. Now, Chapter 8 is getting familiar with what's called your TACT. This is your 12-area conversion triangle. So the acronym TACT. Now, this is crucial for hitting your spares. If you're trying to get, let's say, the 2-8 pin conversion, Generally, players will like to hook the ball to come around to hit the 2 and hit the 7. So that's one technique of hitting it. Or you can go straight on to hit the 2 and the 8. But you have to be very accurate. And you have to be confident that where you're standing, where you're aiming at, you can get that ball to move to hit those 2 pins successfully. Now, what we have in the 12-area conversion triangle, it covers how do you convert different spares. And if you can memorize this triangle for left-handed bowlers or right-handed bowlers, when you get on the lanes, you will know without a doubt how to convert these spares. So Chapter 8, memorizing your 12-area conversion triangle. Enough said. That is a most important technique you need to learn for shooting your spares. And I'll talk about a little bit later on in other chapters how we assist you with that. So if you're not memorizing your 12-area conversion triangle, we do have a section that has over 100 spares written down where you can record how would you convert these spares. So we give you the information on how to fill out the chart to convert those spares. Now, Chapter 9 is what's called our spare conversions made easy using the CATS at 20. So the acronym is CATS, the @ and 20. So this is using what's in Chapter 8, your 12-area conversion triangle, along with another technique in Chapter 9, which puts together the whole technique on how to convert your spares successfully. So when you come on the lanes, you miss your strike, you leave a few pins for your spares. Mentally, you will think about your 12-area conversion triangle and this CATS at 20, and you'll hit your spares flawlessly. People will be amazed at how accurate you are with hitting your spares. It'll be second nature to you on how to convert these spares. So that's Chapter 9. Chapter 8 and 9 work together on how to convert your spares. Chapter 10 and 11, this is the section that covers the worksheet. So it's called your Spare Conversion Solution Worksheet. And it's literally over 100 spares that are identified. And if I can go to that section, just to give you an example, it covers over 100 of these patterns that you may encounter. Now there may be some that we haven't identified, but there is a section in the appendix that you can record any of the spares that you're trying to attempt that are not recorded here, but I doubt if you will find a spare that you encounter that's not covered in this spare conversion solution worksheet. So we have the type of spare that you're trying to hit, where do you need to stand, and where do you need to aim at. And like I said, it's over 100 spares. We have it for left-handed bowlers and for right-handed bowlers. So Chapter 10 and Chapter 11 covers left-handed and right-handed bowlers. So you would be able to record that information, and at any point in time, if let's say you had the 1, 2, 4 and the 10 pin that you needed to convert, and you see that you're encountering this over and over, and you're not having much success on converting those, if you look into your book for that 1, 2, 4, 10 pin pattern, then you would see, okay, I need to stand here, I need to aim at this location, and this is how I need to hold the bowling ball to achieve this spare. And you will be amazed at the skill level that you will have converting your spares. Now that's chapters 1 through 12. 1 through 11. Chapter 12 is just putting it all together. So it solidifies the entire book, letting you know what's your personal approach offset, what are your 4 techniques on getting to the pocket regardless of the oil pattern, when it's time to convert your spares, how are you going to use your 12-area conversion triangle along with the CATS at 20 technique. And like I said, it's all step-by-step instructions. There's no guessing involved. These have been tested. Like I said, this has been created over 2 years of research, looking at thousands and thousands of techniques used to convert spares and also to hit your strikes. And just as a small note, just to help you feel more comfortable with scoring over 200, if, for example, you bowl, let's say you were able to bowl 2 strikes in a row on your first and second frame. If you're able to hit a 9 and then a spare the rest of the way through, you will bowl over 200. So mentally, I want you to think about, well, do I have to hit 5 strikes? Do I have to get 8 strikes? Do I have to get 12, 13? Well, you can't do 13, but 12 strikes in a row for a 300 game. But that would relieve the pressure off of you if you know that once you hit 2 strikes in a row, potentially, now the pressure's off on you. If you hit another strike, great. But based on the techniques in this book, you will be able to convert those spares. So now the pressure is totally taken off of you. You know how to get to the pocket. You have 4 tested strategies from this book on how to get to the pocket to hit your strikes. So really, converting 2 strikes shouldn't be a problem. You will be able to hit those throughout the game. If you get the 2 strikes in a row, now you're rolling on automatic pilot. Now all you have to do is convert your spares, and you're going to be hitting over 200 without a problem. If you're noticing that you're getting more spares, but you want to get more strikes, go back to the 4 techniques that are covered in the book on how to hit these strikes. So this book is absolutely phenomenal. Bar none, the best book we have seen out on the market today. Every bowler should have this book inside of their bowling bag. Now in the book, we have, in our appendix, we have a section that's called the Personal Bowling Ball Drill Specifications. Now, when you're getting more comfortable with buying additional bowling balls, it's important to know how to have your bowling ball drilled. So usually your professional at your pro shop will know the information that's covered here in this book on what size the finger hole is, what's the distance between your thumb and your index fingers, things of that nature. So it is great if you could have that information for yourself. So if you're at a different bowling center, you see a bowling ball that you want, and you would like it to be drilled a particular way or similar to the way you have your bowling ball drilled, you can refer back to your book and say, this is my drill specifications for bowling ball A. Could you drill it based on these specifications? And it would be great. You can order online. You can provide the same information on how to have your bowling balls drilled. It is definitely a beneficial piece of information that you can have. If you want to keep track of your high games, we have a section that tracks all of your high scores for you and the dates that you've hit those scores. I know for myself, I like to know when I hit my famous 299. Just missed my 300 score, or when did I bowl an 800 series. It allows you to record that information, kind of like your pat on the back. This is when I hit these scores, that you can share with your friends on. These are the dates when you scored very well. And what I love is the Wall of Fame. This is where you would record when did you score your 300 game, when did you get your 800 series. When did you hit your first sanctioned 600? So if you're a beginner, when did you first hit that 600 series? So again, great information that's provided in the book Bowling Secrets Revealed. So that's our book, Bowling Secrets Revealed, a guide to achieve bowling scores above 200 consistently. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you go to our website today at www.creativebowlingsolutions.com and order our Bowling Secrets Revealed book, when you receive your order, inside you will have a coupon for a 50% off on any of our items in our CBS store. So you may want to purchase our rings that display your bowling balls. I know in situations where you're at a bowling event and there's too many balls on the rack, we do have our famous The Ring, which allows you to secure your bowling balls safely on the floor without setting them in a chair or in any other location. We also have our personal bowling game tracker, allows you to record your bowling strategy as you're bowling. We have our software, Personal Bowling Assistant. We also have Bowling Secrets Revealed as an ebook, which may be an option for any of our viewers that want to use a tablet to look at the information that's stored in our book. So that's also available on our website. Our newly released power sleeves. So these are compression sleeves that you may have seen professional bowlers use, like Jason Belmonte, the two-handed bowler. So he uses it as well. Not our particular product, but these are similar bowling sleeves that you may have seen other bowlers use in different events. But take a look at our website for some of our other items. But definitely, today, go to our website, www.creativebowlingsolutions.com. Go to our CBS store and purchase your Bowling Secrets Revealed book today, and you will receive your 50% off coupon. You may want to buy two, one for yourself, one for a friend. But definitely, you must have this in your bag. This will improve your game dramatically. Just the techniques alone will improve your game. Hitting spares will be no problem. Hitting your strikes, no problem. When you find out there's some difficulty based on your technique, revert back to the book, find your 4 techniques on getting to the pocket, and you're back in business again. Cannot hit the spares, refer back to your book. Which spares that I'm trying to hit? Am I following the steps correctly? Once you look back in the book, you're back in business. So, thank you again for watching our video, and we'll have more videos out on some of our other products. But thank you for looking at Bowling Secrets Revealed.